oh, you know, just wait, just wait, just wait. Like kindergarten will be worth it. It'll be worth it. Hang in there. I felt that today. Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I am a first year kindergarten teacher in Northern California. I originally taught first grade in Tennessee 2 years ago. Check out my channel for more videos about my story. But today's Monday and we are really excited for this Monday. Since we've been back in person, I have been sleeping in. Like I just got way too used to my schedule of distance learning and just logging into my computer. And I don't know if I'm alone here, but I was really enjoying my sleep. So I woke up this morning at the time that I used to wake up, which is like 5 a.m. and I feel just so much better. I truly am a morning person when I set my alarm. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just like, I don't know, gross about my whole day. So I feel good this morning. I brought items to restock my fridge. At Target this weekend, I picked up some Band-Aids. These are Band-Aids that I'm gonna put at the front for the kids. If they need a Band-Aid, they just go grab one. Also, I got some more cute little mini erasers. I use these for manipulatives, so I might put them in my little rainbow containers from Michael's over there, or I might use them for like small group math. We'll see, I'm not really sure, but whenever you see erasers at the Target dollar spot, you just have to buy them, you know what I mean? Also, I am going to be filming a What I Eat in a Week video this whole week as well, so this vlog and What I Eat in a Week are going to be filmed, and hopefully they'll be up at the same time. You can check the I button if that's up already, and if it's not, it should be up soon. So that in mind, this vlog is going to be mostly just a teacher vlog in the classroom. So this morning, all I really have to do is get my kids' center folders ready. So I'm gonna put all of these in their center folders, and then I'm gonna like just go over my PowerPoint. That's it. Okay, all of their center folders are filled. I put their folders in their book bins for them, and then throughout the week they work on their center folders, and then when they're done they turn it into my basket over there and I check it. Sometimes I'll upload it to Class Dojo. Lately I haven't been so good about that, and then on Fridays we take all of our work home. So I still have plenty of time before the kids get here. What I'm gonna do is fix my weekly center tracker because I did not do that last week before I left. I'll cover up the names. I've shown this in my vlog before, you can't even really see it. But I keep my students who are in person up here, my students who are at home down here, and my roster keeps changing, which is great, but it's also like, I was telling my friend it's so different from a normal year because normally I would prep like extra materials and extra things in a normal year, and then we'd have like community supplies. But this year with COVID, everything is so different, and so getting a new student on the spot is a little bit more tricky. And I think I didn't vlog about it last week. I spent like 40 minutes in the morning just trying to get ready for one of my new students and like rearranging the groups and rearranging the pods and like getting his materials and like finding a spot for him. Like it's just different with COVID. So I'm gonna work on updating my tracker. It is after school. I don't have too much to tell you about. It was a pretty average day. I will say like the energy was really high all day long. We had a lot of fun today, maybe a little bit too much fun, but it was really good Monday. Mondays are always good. Mondays are my absolute favorite. We did start our personal narrative writing, and it was really fun getting to talk to them about what a personal narrative was. I really like introducing them to completely new concepts and then just seeing them get it. So we talked about a personal narrative, and we also practiced some rhyming. I don't know if it's just me or my kids, but rhyming is super hard for them. Let me know if you have any like special tricks that you use. What we do right now is we kind of bounce the sounds. So we'll say bat, at, dog, og, at and og are different, so they do not rhyme. So we do kind of that structure, which it helps, but I feel like maybe they're just not getting enough practice. I don't know. Oh, also for writing, I like to use a mentor text whenever I introduce a writing concept. So we used the Knuffle Bunny. We've already read this book, so it was really cool to revisit. They love the Knuffle Bunny. Talked about the characters, talked about the setting, we talked about why all those things are important. Let's refer back to our charts. And I always make sure that I use like similar phrasing and body language just to kind of get it in their head. And I'll show you the beautiful anchor chart that we did today. So we mapped out this story. I basically just had 3 boxes in the title up here, and then we talked about what happened, and they helped me write a sentence, and then we went back and drew pictures, and then we went back and added transition words. So we talked about that. So this was all during ELA, and then for our actual writing lesson, we talked a little bit more about it, did a review, and then they helped me with my personal narrative. So we talked a lot about phonetic spelling, how to tell the story. So basically what I did is I told them this real story about a time that I went on a picnic with my teddy bear, and I included lots of details, and I told them about how I was packing all these foods and these drinks, and I got my teddy bear and my blanket, and then I went to the park and I set up my blanket and I did this, and we had the picnic, and then I went home and I had them tell me the important parts of my story. I had them pick it out, and then we decided what we would write. We used phonetic spelling, of course, and then after we got our story mapped out, again, we hug our mistakes. We talked about the pictures, and then one of them was like, oh, you need to add a tree. And I'm like, I'm so glad you said that. We should go back and check and see if there's any extra details we can add to our pictures. So they helped me go back and add details too. So I am using, kind of like basing it off of this curriculum from the Moffat girls, and it's the personal narrative curriculum. And so tomorrow what we're gonna do, this little hard activity where they draw or write about things that they can write about. So we're gonna do a whole lesson on that. So super slow paced. I'm not trying to overwhelm them, and I'm really just trying to make sure they understand exactly what they're doing, and I want to give them a lot of confidence going into it that they can do it. So I'm taking it really slow, but I'm really excited to see what they come up with. Good morning, friends. Today is Tuesday. I feel like I kind of left you guys hanging yesterday, so oops, sorry about that. I did get here early again today, not like as early as I got here yesterday, but I don't have as much to do. I feel like Mondays I normally do have a little bit more that I want to get done before the kids get here, but today I really don't. My husband did pick up a couple of composition notebooks. Like I said, I have a couple of new students, so I need to get their morning journals ready, and maybe I can clean up a few things around the classroom too. I've got my coffee. Then I'm going to go over our PowerPoint. When I taught first grade, you guys probably know this, but when I taught first grade, I would do our PowerPoint and I would plan it all before the week even started. And this year I haven't been good about that. I probably could do that this week because I'm getting here earlier in the morning so I can work on next week's stuff, but I just haven't been good about it, and I think it's because our days aren't full days. Like right now, we go until 12:35, and then we have meetings and planning and intervention after that. So really, we're just doing less than a day than we normally would. So our PowerPoint only has what I showed you in my last vlog on it, and so I only have to change a couple of things each day because a lot of the work that we're doing is on whiteboards. Like there's not that much that I have to change, which is super convenient. So I do need to update a couple of things for today. And yesterday, I remember I talked to you guys about our writing and what we were gonna do. And we're gonna do that little heart activity. But right after I finished talking to you, I was like, wait, I have a genius idea. Because I didn't have a book picked out for our read aloud, and I was like, you know what I should do is see if the first grade teacher has some personal narrative writing samples, and we can look at those as a class as kind of like our little read aloud time. And she did have some, and I'm really, really excited because I feel like to them, that's just gonna make a huge difference, because so far the examples that they've seen are published books and what we do together. So like them guiding me writing, and then they've seen their writing, but they haven't seen where they're going to be very, very soon. And I feel like it's a little bit intimidating because they think their work needs to look like a published book when it doesn't. It needs to look like kindergarten. It needs to look like they're going into first grade. And so I feel like showing them the first graders writing will kind of just be a confidence booster to them. So we're gonna look at a couple samples today, analyze it, talk about the drawings, talk about the words, talk about the story, and I feel like it's going to be a good time. Okay, next up, we have report card grades are due this Friday, and report cards go home this Friday. So I really need to finish up my testing today, even though I haven't pulled small groups this week. It's just I don't have the time built in. Like I said, we're on a shorter schedule, so I just have to get it done. And yeah, and then we have math. So yeah, not a whole lot going on today. It is kind of rainy here in Northern California, so there's that. I feel like the weather always affects our kids, so we'll see how that ends up going. I did put out a poll on my Instagram, and I asked what you wanted to see in this week's vlog. So let's take a quick peek. Phonics and guided reading. Any experience you have in the classroom helps me hearing how you reacted to them. I'm really glad that me sharing, I don't want to say like behavior management, but kind of behavior management with you guys is helpful, because I'm not an expert by any means. Like I'm over here struggling half the time, but just like modeling that language I feel like can be really helpful. So I'll continue to do that. Plan with me, how you do guided reading, lesson plan, station work. I shared a lot of station work in my last video. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. classroom setup tips. I actually have my whole classroom setup series posted, so make sure you check that. My new ones. I have old ones, but I also have new ones from this year. I would love to see planning, clips of teaching, how you prepare. So it sounds like a lot of you guys want to see guided reading, and I originally was going to make that the first video I filmed on my new camera. I haven't filmed it yet just because I'm like really busy and really overwhelmed right now, and like I want that video to be super helpful. I will say one of the things that I love using with my kids is just Heggerty book right here. It's Heggerty Phonemic Awareness. The blue book is kindergarten and the yellow is first grade. When I taught first grade, we had this and it was awesome, and it was also really great for interventions. If you have an intervention time and you are looking for something, this will give you a lot of bang for your buck. And I've shown it before, but it goes through and it's separated by weeks. So it covers rhyming, onset fluency, blending, isolating final or medial phonemes, segmenting, adding, deleting, substituting sounds, alphabet knowledge, language awareness. Here's the curriculum kind of overview. So here's just the one section of rhyming, and it shows you how it develops that skill over here. So here's kind of like everything it covers. Here's a week 3 kindergarten. Yeah, week 3. Starting on Monday, you go down and you do these. And then here's what it looks like kind of like in the middle. It's super easy to follow, and there is a routine. Your kids will know what to do. Here's what it looks like more towards the end for kindergarten. So if you've been with me since I taught first grade, you know that guided reading was one of my absolute favorite things to teach, and I just love sitting down with kids and helping them learn to read. With kindergarten, I haven't been getting that quite as much just because developmentally, that's not where a lot of kindergartners are supposed to be at. You guys know that I do books with my students who can read, and I do some books with my students who can't fully read just yet, just to give them a little bit of confidence. We do decodable books, but phonemic awareness is really where you want to start with kindergarten and even in first grade if your kids are struggling. So I would say less of a focus on let's read this book, more of a focus on getting the sounds. I also shared in my last video, I'm doing sound sorts with some of my students where they just sort. C makes the k sound. What's the other one they were doing this week? H makes the h sound, and so they're sorting pictures based on the beginning sound. Just very simple activities, but I will try to make a video dedicated to at least the activities that I'm familiar with doing in guided reading and what that looks like in kindergarten and first grade just for me. But just know that there are so many things you can do. I might even try to just like give you guys a long list in the description box for that video if that helps you out. So if you really want to see that video, let me know. I'll kind of like push it to the top. It just is something that I know is going to take a lot of work for me because I want to make sure that I'm giving you like good information. Like I said, I'm going to get my notebooks ready for my new students. And yeah, get ready for my day. I'll talk to you after school. It's after school on Tuesday. I am exhausted, like completely just worn out. My kids all day long were just talking over each other, talking over me. It was just one of those days. Like centers was rough. I was trying to pull kids, and it was just a struggle, and I'm really trying to get everything done before I have to put report card grades in, which is what I spent a big chunk of my afternoon doing just now, is plugging in all of my grades for report cards. And I am going to go in probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning even, and put in all the comments. So I like to do the grades, and then I like to put in the comments later. But something that I've been doing the past couple of weeks is just keeping a clipboard, and I can't show you, but like it's got lots of comments on there just about the students, because I feel like whenever I go to sit down and write down my like thoughts about a student, I can't think of anything. So the weeks leading up to report cards, I will just have a clipboard with a piece of paper and just like write down little notes about students that I want to make sure I include in the comments. That way I'm not sitting there trying to write comments for like 2 hours. Like I can just type in what I already have wrote down, and that way I make sure I say everything that I want to say. For writing, I shared that I wanted to do the heart activity. That went really well. They actually worked really hard on their hearts, and most of them labeled, some of them just do pictures. We kind of did it together first. So I did my heart, and then I had them brainstorm in their pods what they would put in their heart, and then I had them share it out, and we kind of wrote them all down on the whiteboard. Let me show you my terrible drawings. One of my kids was like, my dog is not that fat, but that's what it looks like. It was actually really great, and I felt like I didn't have to like push to get things out of them. Like they just filled their heart with things that they loved. One of them even put me, which love that. Oh, I also shared with them the first grade writing that I borrowed from the first grade teacher, and they thought that was really cool, and I kind of had to guide them a little bit to ask what they noticed, but we got so much out of it. Like, I would 100% do that again, and then the next time I introduce a new writing, I think I for sure am gonna ask for samples, because I feel like it really helped put it into perspective for them. So that went good. Overall, I am just super exhausted. It was a really good day in terms of behaviors for my one super special friend, so that is a win. Yeah, overall, I think that's about all I wanted to share with you. Oh, I also wanted to say my kids are really loving our ghost words activity. You can find it in my TBT, but I've shared it before, but it's where you take the white crayon and you color over it in marker. They're doing that in the WordWorks Center a lot for their sight words, and they're really loving that. Also, I am still using ESGI to assess my kids, and it made the process really quick. One thing I think I forgot to share with you guys is that we have been focusing on drawing people, because kindergartners either have no clue how to draw people or they draw them as stick figures. So I did a whole like people drawing lesson at the beginning of the year, I feel like, and then I did kind of a refresh last week, and I made an anchor chart, and then we did it again today, and their people are getting so much better, and I feel like they're actually like looking like people. So I'll share with you kind of how I did that. The audio in this clip is messed up, but here's the anchor chart. It is in my Instagram bio if you need it, but we start with the head, and then we add the body, the hands, and the shoes, the circles, then we add the face and details, and then these are the hairstyles for them to choose from. So here's an example of the refresh lesson we did last week, and then here's an example of the one we did today. So we do this together, and then on their own. So you can kind of see we did a boy and a girl together, and then that last one is just one that they did completely independently. So I don't have anything helpful left to share with you guys today, and I don't have anything to stick around and do here, so I will see you in the morning. It's absolutely pouring rain this morning, so we love that for us. Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I do want to start off by saying thank you to Heather. I don't know if you want me to say your last name, Heather, but you sent us dot markers, and I am so grateful. I think I mentioned in my last vlog that I wanted to add these to my wish list because I really want to use them in the classroom, and I only had a set of like 6 or 7 dot markers. So thank you so much for sending us a class set of dot markers. My kids have loved these little ones that you guys saw me put in my centers last week, so I know they're gonna be excited when they hear that you sent us these. So thank you so much, Heather. These are the ones she sent me. I've got all of the rainbow colors, and I've got 2 packs of them, so this will be absolutely perfect. Beautiful start to our Wednesday already. I just think it's so cool that we can support each other even though we might be like miles and miles away. I feel like I've been best friends with some of you guys for a long time now, so thank you for just watching my videos, and thank you for helping build that relationship with me, because it really does mean a lot. This morning I didn't get here quite as early as I have been, mostly because I don't really have anything to do, and I was thinking about it when I was doing my makeup this morning that I could go ahead and start laminating and cutting math centers that I had printed forever ago, so I might do that after school. I'm not sure. I also want to do some planning. I don't know. We'll see where the day takes us. I think just our morning message is all I have to do. I'm almost done testing. I just have a couple of kids online that I need to test, so I'm gonna try and have my kids in the classroom and centers today and try to pull some kids online to do testing, but I don't know how that's gonna go. It's Wednesday, is Wednesday after school. I feel like I have been so productive. I didn't film myself doing some things because it would not have been fun to watch, I promise. But I did finish my report cards. I did all of my grades. I did all of my comments. I printed them. I even printed not all of, the data that would be useful to parents from ESGI. I talked with you guys a little bit yesterday about ESGI, the platform that I use to collect data and track data. There's an option where you can print a parent letter, and it kind of breaks down for them. For example, these are the letters they know, these are the letters that they don't know, and I stapled it to their report card. So I put letters, sounds, if I tested them on CVC words, I put that in there. Basically, if I tested them on it and it would be valuable to the parents, I sent it home. And I also put like a little cover letter on their report card that kind of listed our specific skills, because their report card can tend to like clump things together. And so, for example, if they got like a 2 on counting to 100, I wrote down like specifically like they can count to 54 or whatever. So I did that, and I listed like the specific skills, and if there's anything that I could like add more detail to, I put that on there too, just so, you know, the parents or guardians would have an idea of exactly what their child needs to know. And I feel bad though, because especially this year, like everybody is a little bit behind. Like we all just are. That's just the nature. We spent like half the year distance learning. So it's not really fair to the kids to have to grade them at the same standard that we would have in a normal year. But I understand that it needs to be accurate. So that's what we're doing. Today with the kids was interesting because earlier on in the day, they did pretty good. Like we got a smart cookie today. Woo. If you haven't seen my last video, I explained how smart cookies works. So definitely check that out. But we got a smart cookie today. But maybe it's because we had to be inside all day because it was raining. I just felt like they were all over the place. Like they were everywhere. And for some reason today, like nobody could keep their hands to themselves. Nobody. And then it was a lot of tattletaling. I feel like that was the biggest thing today, is that they kept coming up to me all day long and just tattletaling. So I feel like all day long I've been saying, be a problem solver, be a problem solver, be a problem solver. What can you do? Some days I feel like that's just how it goes. The thing I just keep going back to though is I would love to know, and I can't wait to see what kindergarten looks like just like in a normal year, because it's so hard to compare some of the things I'm seeing because I haven't seen kindergarten really before. Like that's a lie. I spent some time in kindergarten classrooms. I don't know. I just feel like this year it hasn't really been the fairest to them in terms of like being at school, but at the same time, I know they can still meet the expectations that I set for them because some days they can do it and we're not all perfect. But yeah, just kind of like a little battle that I've got going on in my brain. Oh, we did our writing today. This is the graphic organizer that we worked on today. This is obviously mine, but basically all we did was pull one topic from our heart to write about. Students chose Pikachu, and he tried his best to write Pikachu. We know that OO says ooh, and he did hear that ch sound, so really proud of him for this. This student wanted to write about their grandpa, and first of all, I'm really impressed with this picture, and I can't wait to like hear their whole story. But whenever students are having trouble with a word and they're not quite sure how to spell it, my fallback for those students is always syllables, and we've been working on syllables nonstop. Most of my kids can do it. It's a little tricky with some of them, but for that word grandpa, I said let's clap it out. Grandpa, first syllable. Grand, okay, get your mouth ready. Grr, and he got GR, and I said grr, and is a sight word, so he got that. And then paw was the last one, so we put PO, which is really, really awesome. But every now and then during whole group, whenever we do our syllables, I'll show them how they can spell like actually pretty impressive words using their syllables. So that's a fun little activity that we like to do, and I thought I wanted to share it with you because it really makes a difference for them when they're writing, especially because if they can spell a CVC word, they can actually spell so many more words and they don't even realize it. So that was our writing. And then for our decodable this week, we did the sun. And I tried something a little bit different this week. Kind of like, I don't know what you call it. Not mapping the text, not decoding the text, but we went through our decodable and we colored all of our sight words yellow, and then we underlined the word sun that's on every page. And then for the CVC words, I had them put like a blue dot under the first letter to kind of remind them to sound it out starting with the first letter. And I feel like this really helped. So this is kind of what it looked like. And then after we did that, we read it together, and then they read it in their groups, and I feel like they did a good job with it. I really like these decodables. I think they're from Terra West. I really like them. The other thing I'm doing, which from time to time in their center folders, I will put a like name tracing activity, and we are definitely doing this tomorrow. You can't see, it literally just says the student's name, so they're gonna trace it and then practice writing it, because my students, most of them can completely write their name, right? But now that they know how to write their name, they are kind of getting lazy and rushing through it, and it looks like they don't know how to write their name anymore. So we're gonna go back to basics, practice again. And not only that, but like I have so many papers where it's just like no name, no name, no name, no name. I know that some teachers have like a little highlighting station, and like that's good. I feel like it's not as great for like kindergarten, because for one, we are like moving so quickly, but for 2, I feel like they would just sit there and like color their name, or they'd forget to see the highlighter in the name poster. So I feel like that's more of like an older grade thing, and I don't really feel like implementing that in my classroom. But I don't know, like I'll even say, I'll walk around and be like, oh, make sure you put your name on your paper, put your name on your paper. And I just look at so many papers without a dang name. I'm trying to think of like a way that I can help them remember to write their name. Like we always do whenever we're working together. I say, the first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and write my name. But they just never remember to do it. Like they're so focused on like getting the task done. They just really need all the practice they can get writing their name. They need to write their name. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know that I love my flexible seating. Well, actually, if you're a new follower, you probably don't know that. I typically do flexible seating in my classroom. I did it in 1st grade. All my flexible seating stuff is still here. It's just kind of in the library. And that's obviously due to COVID this year. So I have the crates in my classroom instead, which you guys have seen a million times, but they get so messy. Like this is the same reason I did not want to have desks, which in a kindergarten classroom, you don't have desks anyway, but I just knew it, and they get so messy. Like there's always things in there. We spent like 10 minutes today at the end of the day cleaning them because I saw a couple of them open their crates and I was like, okay, we're gonna clean these out because they are looking rough, but I swear we have to clean them out every week. They drive me mad. But I've been so bummed lately, I guess, about our flexible seating because my kids do have a couple of different options when we're in the classroom. But for the most part, they have to stay like in their pod, so it makes it difficult to give them that option and that choice, and I just feel so bad. And I've been trying to like genuinely think about a way that I could do it, but I just don't think that I can. Standing option, I typically have the stools option. I typically have the like floor seating option, a couple of those, and then the students can use like clipboards and sit anywhere. I just don't think I'd be able to do it because the whole point of flexible seating is to choose where you need to be when you need to be there, and it's not fair to like one pod of students to like make them stand for the day or whatever, which a lot of my kids probably would like to stand all day. Yeah, I just wish there was a better way for it to work for my room, but for now, this is fine. Okay, so I think I've accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish today. I'm like way past when I can go. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave. I will be here probably earlier tomorrow morning. I do need to do some planning. So you know what, maybe, I don't know, since I'm already thinking about it, I can do a little bit of planning now and then maybe do some more planning tomorrow morning. And I also want to get some math centers laminated tomorrow morning. I don't know, I'm just really trying to figure out a way that I can bring math centers in. Like even if we only do them once a week, like maybe on Fridays, like do math small group, IXL, and centers and kind of have that time. But it's just so hard because my schedule is so short. So I don't know. I want to get them laminated. I want to get them prepped. And then from there, I can figure out a way to fit them in. Right? Right. Okay. So I think I'll try to do a little planning. I know that planning is something that you guys said on my little Instagram poll that you guys wanted to see more of. And I feel like right now I'm not being like super helpful when it comes to planning just because I'm kind of planned in advance in my mind. Like when we're doing like writing units and things like that, like there's not that much I have to think about and plan, but hopefully like what you get still helps you out as much as I can. I do think it's interesting to see how other teachers plan, and I know I need to get better about planning things like the fun activities and the crafts. I shared about that too on my Instagram. I feel like I'm so good at like planning the academics and like knowing how to do all that stuff, and then when it comes to like, oh, what is like a fun activity we can do this week, I'm like, I don't know. And then I see teachers do these amazing things after the fact. I'm like, okay, I've got to write that down to do that next year, but like I just don't have that ease of coming up with the super fun activities. So yeah, that's an area that I really just wish I was better at naturally, but I have to do a lot of work to figure out things that, you know, hopefully my kids will like and that we can do and that are not like super high prep and realistic. So yeah, just thought I'd share that in case you are in the same boat and you are that teacher too, because it's not easy. Okay, hopefully this angle is good. This is what I've got. I just copied and pasted my layout from last week. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start up here during our literacy block. And I'm gonna put in our sight word. I always put it in up here. So I'm not sure about my microphone, if you'll be able to hear me. Hold on. So I always have to start planning my day at the beginning of my day, and I like to do sight words in the morning first. So next week we're gonna be learning little. And that is the only word we're actually gonna be doing next week. So normally we do a word on Monday, a word on Tuesday, and then we review for the rest of the week. This week it's just gonna be one word. I think we are gonna start CVCE words next week, so that will be fun. I need to change that. Okay, perfect. We're also going to do another decodable reader, so we'll do it on Tuesday. We'll start. Okay, this is a bundle from Tara West. I showed it last week, I think. We've done that one, we've done that one, and this is the one we did this week. Okay, next one is the bin, which I almost want to find a decodable that has the CVCE in there, but I don't think that's in here. So yeah, this bundle's great. It is just CVC words, which, you know, it'll be okay because CVCE words will be new, so it's not like we need to do a new decodable on a skill we're just learning, so really it's fine. We have that, and then, so on the first day we read it together as a class. The second day we read it and then highlight the words, and then they get the book. And then I think during this time we will do some more sentence strip practicing. I've just been giving them one of those colored sentence strips, and we write a sentence that has sight words in it. So for example, just one of these colored strips, and we practice using sight words. So what we'll do together, we will say the sentence together, count the words, and then they'll write it on their own. So I've been doing this for the past couple of weeks. Also, another tip I have is to color code them. So like I kind of have like my below grade level, on grade level, and above grade level ones color coded just so I can kind of see it easier. And I think that's like actually super helpful. So if you buy the colored strips, color code your kids. Also, ideally, would this be great to do every single day? Yes. Do we have time to do this every single day? No. It takes a lot to get a kindergartner to write a sentence. So just kind of my explanation on there. And then Friday, we used to do word checks. We don't really do those anymore. I'm going to leave that open for now because I don't know what I want to do. I need to plan my read alouds. I don't feel like doing that right now. We are not going to be testing anymore, which means I can pull by small groups again. So I'll move these all over, which so far this week we haven't even done small groups. I've just been testing, which is just lovely. But tomorrow I'll be able to get to them again. I'm using my basic tripod, so it's kind of hard to see if you guys can see, but hopefully that's good. Okay. And then all of this is honestly going to stay the same. I do need to plan books for my Sequoia, so I'm just going to highlight that just so like I know that I need to plan it. And then the rest of it, I just need to pull different resources. So I need to update for my Fiddle Leaf group the sound sorts we're doing, and then that's good. So then for Writer's Workshop, personal narrative, like I showed you, we're starting it this week. We will not get it done. So let's see what else we need to do. Like I mentioned, I'm using this particular resource from the Moffat girls. Okay, middle of the story, through that, adding detail. Okay, because I kind of wanted to see, I guess, where we were at, and then have like a share day and all of that. It's hard because like in a normal year, I would have a time dedicated to writing conferences, and I would pull students and talk to them about their writing, and then they would go back and fix it. But how many times do I have to say, I just don't feel like that time is like really in my schedule this year because we're like on such short days. And so we're not really doing that. I kind of conference them all at the same time, like as I go around every single day. And it's really, really hard on me. And I don't know if there's a better way that I could be doing that because they all need me at the same time. And I'm working really hard on trying to make sure that they have the skills they need to be independent, that they feel the confidence that they can be independent in their writing, and they don't need me to just sit there with them while they write, because a lot of them can do it, but they want me to sit right there with them. So that's been a struggle. I am working on it, trying to figure out ways that I can help. We'll see. Let's just figure it out. That is good. But see, then I'm left with Thursday and Friday. I'm not sure what I want to do on these 2 days because I don't want to like mess it up to where every week is like off by a couple of days. Like I want us to start and then get done with the middle and then get done with the end and then add details and then finish on Friday. Like I there's no reason to mess that up. So probably do maybe like a group writing activity about something we've done together as a class on Thursday maybe, and then we can just do like some kind of project or craft on Friday. That sounds good. Okay, I think that's really all I have in me for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Sea friends, good morning. Today is Thursday. It's freezing outside. Just thought I would let you know. I put on the top today and I was like, that's not cozy enough. So then I switched into this top, which is like the most stretchy, like flowy top that I could find. I'm like, you know what? This is it. This is what we're wearing today. So I said I was gonna get here early. Yesterday I did. So yesterday I said I was gonna get here early and like laminate a bunch of math centers. I mean, I am here early. I still have about 40 minutes before the kids get here, but I'm also like, is that enough time? Is that enough time to like actually start a project? I guess I could. I don't know. I just feel sleepy this morning, you know? Also, I was gonna print this, it's like CVC Crack the Code from Kayla, Move Mountains in Kindergarten, and a like writing center thing. I got home and I realized that I forgot my laptop charger. So I finally bit the bullet and I just ordered another one, which I really didn't want to do because at the end of the day, it's just laziness. Like, but I'm also very forgetful, and leaving my laptop charger at school is something that I have been doing way too often because I plug it in like right behind here, and so it's not something that I like see, and then at the end of the day my laptop is over at my small group table. It's not over there, so I don't think to like unplug it, and I've forgotten it way too many times. So I'm just ordering another charger that I can keep here, and then I can have that one and I can stay at home, and then I won't have this problem ever again. Hey friends, it's Thursday after school. I honestly, I was thinking today was not the best day, but it kind of was. And even though my kids were super chatty during centers, they were playing like crazy. I had two of my groups who could not just get it together the whole time. One of my groups, writing, I sat at the table. Like I pulled two of my guided reading groups today, two of my lower groups. Then I sat at the table and oh my gosh, we're sanitizing, they knocked my poster down. Not the kids. But I sat at the writing table with them and just sat there and stared at them. And then they worked and I'm like, then I walked away and 2 seconds later, what are they doing? Hiding under the table, acting crazy. And so it's hard for me to say this because I only take away recess if they are playing during a time when they should be working, because if they're playing now, they don't get to play later. So the students, two groups who were in here playing during centers, I had them sit out for 5 minutes of recess. 5 minutes, then they could go play. And I feel like that really made a difference to them, and it's not something I want to do every single time, but I don't know, maybe until it clicks, we'll try it. We'll see if that works. I hate taking away recess, but our recess time is kind of long anyway, so and we actually went out early, so they really didn't miss that much. But so that was centers. Oh, my favorite part today was writing. You guys know I was kind of nervous to start our writing. It's the first time we're doing a personal narrative, and their writing so far has been very like having to pull it out of them. But y'all, I'm so stinking proud. So stinking proud of them. So I'll show you mine as an example. This is the heart that we did on Monday. Yesterday we picked a topic, I've already explained this, and then today we're doing beginning, middle, and end. And what I don't know what, this is from the Moffat girls, I don't know what she wanted us to write on these lines, probably like a word, but we talked about when we were retelling stories, the transition words first, next, last. So I'm gonna hope that some of my kids actually use them in their writing. Obviously not all of them will or can, but I had them practice writing them. So first, next, last. And I know it says beginning, middle, end, but this is like the language I want them to use. So I had them just practice writing those words, which I liked. And then we drew a picture. So I told them my story, and we talked about the beginning, middle, and end. First, I went to the store. Next, I picked out a plant. Last, I took the plant home. And one of my kids goes, Miss Call, did you go to Home Depot? And I was like, actually, yeah. How'd you know that? And then he said, he was like, yeah, and I know your house is brown. And I was like, how did you know that? He's like, you told us. I'm like, oh yeah, I did tell us, because during a different writing time, I drew my house. And I was like, my house is brown. But it's just like a little creepy, the things that these kids can remember. Anyways, when I say I'm so proud of them, I am so proud of them. Every single student, except one of my new students who absolutely can't, every single student had a beginning, middle, and end, and it was something that like actually made sense. Like, I'll show you the picture. I just dropped it. This one is about getting pizza, getting it delivered, and eating it. This one is also about pizza. They ordered the pizza and it came in a box, and then they were giving him the pizza and then he ate the pizza. My friend in her garden, she took off her shoes and then she put her flowers in a vase. This one's about a girl playing with her dog. So she took her dog on a walk, and then they laid together or slept together, and then they played fetch outside. But I've been modeling this process for just this week, but I'm so proud of them. I did not expect them to be able to do it without a ton of my help. Like, I didn't have to pull it out of them. It was wonderful. So they all were working on it at the same time, and I was kind of going around and like, as they were writing first, next, last, I was talking to them about like, okay, what did you do first? What did you do next? And as they were going around doing their pictures, I was like, what's happening here? Like, I need to see you and your story. Like, it was just wonderful. And who knows what these are going to look like when we transfer them to sentences. But the fact that they like did this like really impresses me. What else? I've been planning after school. I was gonna film it, but I honestly just wanted to get in the zone and just get it done. And then I was thinking about so many other things that I wanted to do, and I've already talked about how like I'm really bad at thinking of crafts and coming up with these things. And I follow, I think her name is like ABCs with Miss B, and she always posts these retelling crafts by primary scouts on TBT. And if you remember from my Instagram post, I did the Love Monster one, and that was honestly great. And so I think, well, I bought like a big bundle or whatever. I'm gonna do those every single week because they're wonderful and they're skills that my kids need reinforcement on, and it plans my read alouds for me. So bought that on TBT. So here's an example of one. This is the bad seed. We're doing it next week. So we're gonna be doing, I'm not gonna show you every single thing because I'll talk about it in the next vlog, but here's just like an example of what's included. So it's focused on retelling. It's got character setting, problem solution, first, next, last, and then like a writing that goes with it, and then always like a little craft that they do. And there's cards that you can display to retell it in like a pocket chart or on an anchor chart. So this is great. Also got my newsletter done, which I almost forgot. For some of my kids in math who just like totally get the concept of addition, I created these little addition squares. I searched on TBT because I have a resource that I think is meant for like first or second grade, and it's got like a bunch of addition squares and like a timer and everything, and I'm like, I really can't modify this for kindergarten, so I decided to just make my own, and I'll probably make a bunch of these, and I may put them on TBT, who knows. But this is more for my kids who are really good with addition, but like they could use the extra practice to get more fluent. So I created these little addition squares, and I'm sure you can figure out how it works. 2 plus 2, 2 plus 5, 2 plus 1, and I think they're gonna really like it. And then this space at the bottom is just if they need to like draw anything out, because I didn't know what to put there. And then I was on a roll today. I made some check my backpack bracelets. You could staple them to their wrists, you could staple them around their wrists. The guardians or parents or babysitters know to check their backpack because we are sending home report cards, and we are also sending home a very important letter that is saying that we are going to be back on our full schedule after spring break. So I will no longer be doing half days, which I am happy about, but also a little stressed. So yeah, there's that. Lots of things have happened today. Also, we read this book today. It's called 52, A Tale of Loneliness. And we had a conversation about how like a tale is also a story, not just like a tale. And my kids really, really liked this book. It was super fun. Let me show you some of the pictures. There's also a short that goes with it, and I totally forgot to play it today. So I'll probably play it tomorrow so they can see, because I know they were excited about it, but I forgot to play it. So here's a little sneak peek. some of the illustrations. This book was sent to us by the author Johnny De Palma, I think that's how you say his name, and my kids thought that was really cool and really special, and it's actually based off of a true story. And after we got done reading, I asked them what they liked about the book, what they noticed about the book, and the first thing that one of my girls said was that the whale was being himself or herself, we don't really know. And she said that she really liked that. And then one of my kids said that they really liked that the book rhymed, and I was just happy that they like could verbalize that, because rhyming is something that like my kids have seriously struggled with. So it's always nice when you have like a good book that rhymes, and then they picked up on that. And then one of my kids loved how detailed the illustrations were, which is really awesome because we're talking about that in our writing. So I feel like that's kind of why they thought of that. And then one of my kids, this blew my mind. I have a little anchor chart over here. Characters are people, animals, or things in a story that move, feel, talk. Characters have problems. Characters change. That anchor chart has been up since I made it over there. And sometimes we talk about a character moves, feels, talks, characters have problems, characters change. And one of my kids pointed out the change in this whale. And he said, the whale changed. And I was like, just completely in awe, because I was not expecting it from this kid, and I wasn't expecting it from any of them. But it's really nice to kind of be validated that the things that you're saying to them are actually getting through to them, and it's such a good feeling. And then one of my other friends really liked that the whale was happy by himself, and I was like, you know what, that's a really great point. A lot of times when we read books, the main character is surrounded by friends and family, but sometimes we like to be by ourselves, and that's okay. We had a whole conversation. This sparked a lot from my kids. Like, I'm really impressed. So thank you, Johnny, for sending it. If you're watching, I don't know if you are, but thank you. I borrowed some like handwriting without tears stuff from the first grade teacher. This is actually the kindergarten curriculum, and I borrowed little like wood piece sets where they make the letters, because I know these are good, but I've just never had them, and I think some of my kids would really benefit from them, and luckily she had like a bunch for me to use. So I will try to get those into centers for next week. I'm trying to keep you updated on that. I know this morning you guys saw me laminating my math center things. We are going to hopefully practice math centers every Friday. That way, whenever we go to full schedules, they'll know exactly how to do it. Did get them all laminated, and one of my coworkers is actually going to be able to help me cut those out. So yeah, I am going to be here early in the morning and make those copies. What I could do is copy them today, but I don't want to stay any later. I'm going to leave. So I'm gonna get here early tomorrow, earlier, make those copies, at least get everything ready for my distance learners. You don't wanna hear me just think my thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna go. You know what, I'm back for a quick second. I keep forgetting to tell you guys, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so basically the past 3 days this week, I have been doing shoe tying club at the end of the day because we have to sit and like wait for their names to be called for dismissal, and we have like a little tiny bit of extra time at the end of the day, so I've been doing shoe tying club. Yep, today actually I put on this like jellyfish ambient like YouTube video because we didn't have very much time at all, and they were just crazy today, so I wanted to like calm them down, and they were fascinated with that jellyfish video, and honestly it was totally peaceful to me. I worked at the Tennessee Aquarium, and if you watch this you probably know I worked there for a little while, and I just remember like being in the galleries and just like fascinated by it. So I get it, and they loved it. Up to this point I was using Epic or getepic.com and doing like read alouds through there, and they were just so talkative at the end of the day that they weren't really listening to it. So I was like, okay, we'll do shoe tying club, and wow, did my kids need it. No one ever told me how hard it was going to be to teach kids how to tie their shoelaces. It's just about impossible. We're going to keep practicing. I feel like I need those like shoe tying practice boards, you know what I'm saying? I probably need to make some of those, and buttons too. I need to make some of those fine motor button practice. Do they sell those? I really don't want to make them. If they sell them, let me know, and please let me know where I can get it, or if you do things like that in your classroom, hook me up, because I totally new to all this. But anyways, yeah, they enjoyed shoe tying club, and they enjoyed the jellyfish, and now I'm gonna leave. Good morning, friends. It's Friday. I've been at school for a little while. I've just been kind of eating my breakfast, which I won't tell you what it is because I want you guys to go watch the What I Eat in a Week video that I'm filming, but it's really good. I did go ahead and print some things when I got home last night. I wasn't going to, but then I was like, you know what, I might as well. These are from Terra West. I think they're called sentence matchups. They are in that bundle that I showed you guys that has like all of the little activities that I've been sharing with you. It comes with these butterflies, and then it comes, I guess, you know, I guess these are like butterfly cages. I thought they were like lunch boxes. I think they're butterfly cages. Anyways, they read the sentence and it has CVC words, and then they just pick the one that's matching. There's little pictures, so it's like a box, a bed, a cab, a bug, a fox, and so the sentences will have coordinating things to match. I'm probably not gonna get these laminated today. I mean, I think I'm running out of laminating sheets because I've laminated so many things since starting this year, because, you know, whole new grade level. I might need to buy more of those, which is really sad. But I will probably try to get these introduced to them next week. And I'm gonna try to vlog next week too. I'm doing a really good job so far. But I am gonna go ahead and make copies for my students. Mostly I'm just gonna get everything ready for like my distance learners, because Fridays are our pickup days, so I'm gonna take care of that. And honestly, I might not see you again until after school, because that's gonna take a minute for me to prep that and get that all ready. Friday after school, guys. I don't know, like today, honestly, it wasn't like it was like some phenomenal day, but I just feel so good and so successful because I talked about this earlier. We started our first page in our personal narrative writing, and up until this point, a lot of what they've been doing has been like independent writing, because, and this is my fault, like just the way that I blocked everything out for our schedule, I didn't have enough time in my writing block to like pull groups and like do it that way. So a lot of the time so far, they've been writing independently, and I've been going around helping like all the kids, and it was very stressful and very time consuming, and everybody always needed something. And so today I was like, okay, I need to make sure that like I really set up my kids for success this time. Like I want to pull them. We totally skipped math, but it's Friday, so it was like, it was gonna be something different anyway. But I'm really glad we did, because I pulled all 4 of my pods and we worked on our first page, and I started tearing up. I was blown away, you guys. Even thinking about it now, I'm like, this is such a good feeling, because like some of their writing, I'm like, wow, like you look like you're like in first grade, like you can do this, and like they just like their faces lit up when they were with what they were writing. I can't really show you their writing now because it's actually like writing, but I'll show you my example. So we talked about this, talked about our story, and I went overboard. I was like, we are only writing the beginning of our story, the first part, what happened first. We're not telling the whole story, because I like had a feeling some of them were gonna be like, I did this. I'm like, okay, we're not gonna be able to get a sentence out of that. So huge focus, the first part of our story, first chunk. What did you do first? That's it. Because remember, this is the first time they were like telling like a real story. Up until this point, we've done opinion and we've done informative, not a story. So I was nervous. Here's my example. First, I went to the plant store, modeled it for them, talked them through how to do it. Plant first, finger spaces, looking at my sight words, drawing a picture that matches. I had them tell me what to draw. So this was really successful, number page. And then what I did was I told all my students to start illustrating their picture, and then I would call them to my back table. So everyone was coloring, and I was calling students to my back table, and I worked with each group for a little bit under 10 minutes. So like, well, actually my highest group only took like 3 or 4 minutes, so not even that long. But one of my students I was really proud of, he said, first I was watching a game with my sister. I can show you how this student wrote it. So they wrote, first I was watching, I don't know why there's an H in there, watching a game with my sister. So basically what I did was I said, okay, like what happened first? And he was like, I was watching a game. I was like, okay, tell me in a sentence. First, or he said, I was watching a game with my sister. I was like, okay, what do we need to put in there? First, okay, first, I was watching a game with my sister. And they would kind of write it one word at a time. Obviously, how else are you gonna write it? And I would go around and like, tell me your sentence, tell me your sentence, like keep repeating your sentence and have them keep going. If they got to a word, it's like, is that a sight word? Do you know that word? If not, what do you need to do? Sound it out, and they did. I went for sound W, went to is a sight word. A, they didn't put candy, candy store. And like even this student, they weren't really quite sure 100% about like the letter sound relationship, but like for this student that was really successful. One of my students was writing about Pokemon. He was playing Pokemon Go. And so he got to the word Pokemon. He was like, I have no idea how to do this. And I think I've shared this either on this vlog or the last vlog. But I said, yes, you can. Clap it out. Pokemon. I wrote on my whiteboard because I had my whiteboard while they were writing in case they needed help like visualizing it. Pokemon. First syllable. Po. He wrote po. I said key. He did this. K-E. Mon. And he can spell CVC words. So he got Pokemon, like he did it. And I want to read you their sentences, not show you because I can't. My mom got pizza. I went to the park. I go to the Target. First, I went to the park. So for my higher group and my like middle of the road group, I had them put that transition word in there. But then for my other group who still really struggles with letter sounds to begin with, I just had them like try to get through their sentence. First, I took their dog, I'm not gonna say the name. First I took their dog on a walk, like sounded it all out. First I went to the swing set, sounded it all out. First I played Pikachu with my dad, sounded it out. The way they wrote Pikachu is the cutest thing. P-C-I-O-O-C-H for ch. Pikachu. First I go to my grandpa's house, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot. I know it's like very basic and simple, but the fact that they sat there and like wrote it mostly by themselves, like seeing that compared to like what I've been seeing was just an amazing feeling. And if you're a kindergarten teacher, you probably know exactly what I mean. And this whole year people have been saying, oh, you know, just wait, like kindergarten will be worth it, it'll be worth it, hang in there. I felt that today. I really did. I really did. And I'm so glad it's Friday and that I'm leaving on such a high note, because man, it can be stressful sometimes. I'm just really proud of them, and I told them that. Meanwhile, I had kids like throwing crayons and like doing crazy things in the background, and it was madness, but the writing was great. Another thing that we're focusing on is really slowing down, because a lot of my kids, like, they'll rush to get it out and their letters will just look all crazy, and I was really proud of a lot of my kids for slowing down and like being able to do their letters and write them the correct way. So I mean, it's just really satisfying to see this piece of work, and I can't wait till we get to celebrate and share next week. That's gonna be amazing. I did get everything printed for next week, so I just wanted to kind of show you what it looked like because I showed you last week. So we are starting CVCE words, so we're gonna do this together. Like, they'll have it and I'll have it, and we'll do it together. And we're reading The Bad Seed, so here's like a little picture retell, and we're gonna do it as a class. Here's our math for that day. Then they'll do this by themselves / with me, depending on the student. And then this is character setting problem solution for The Bad Seed. And then this is our math that day. And then they'll do this by themselves, first, next, last, which will be great because that's what we're doing in our writing, and then our math. And then this is independent on Friday, which I think this will be really good. And then we're gonna write I'm a good C because, and I really, like, in case you can't tell, this has made my life so easy. I do not regret purchasing this bundle one bit. And then Friday, they're gonna write the word that matches. And then we're gonna do a writing about like our favorite part of the Bad Seed book and make this little craft. So that's pretty much what next week looks like. We do have the decodable that I haven't printed yet, and I need to. And then all I have to do is print things for their center folders that are over there. Other thing that I wanted to mention, if you're going into like story writing or anything like that, this book, Rocket Writes a Story, is a really good choice. My kids really enjoyed it, and it kind of puts them in the right mindset for writing stories. So I'll just read you a little. Each day, Rocket worked on his story. He wrote words down and crossed words out. When things were going well, he wagged his tail. When he didn't know what to write, he growled. Sometimes he drew pictures for his story, as we do, or took a walk in the meadow to look for inspiration. The little yellow bird encouraged him. Remember, stories take time. It's just a sweet book, and if you're a kindergarten teacher or a first grade teacher and you're doing writing or you're starting a new unit, I think it's kind of nice to help them with that confidence. It kind of helps show them like where they can be successful. And then there's the other books here. Rocket Learns to Read and Rocket's Mighty Words, which I haven't read this one yet. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything for the week. The only other things I need to do are prep their center folders, and then I need to like go through and look at my PowerPoints. Everything that I'm doing planning wise is already done. But other than that, I think I'm gonna let you go. Let me know what you guys think of the shorter vlogs that are like completely teacher related, because that's kind of how I used to do it, but I really enjoy putting lifestyle stuff in there too. Again, the only reason that I didn't this week is because I'm filming that What I Eat in a Week video. So if you're someone who prefers vlogs like this, let me know, or let me know if you just enjoyed the shorter vlog. Hopefully it's shorter. I haven't edited it yet. Let me know what you prefer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So I know the lighting is off, I am home, and I know I already ended the vlog, but I was working out just now and I got an Amazon package and I hadn't ordered anything, and it's because Stephanie sent me this book. So Stephanie, if you're watching, thank you so much. I remember I have had this book on my list for, I feel like, quite some time, and getting it in person and looking at it, it's just incredible. Let me show you guys some of the pictures. It's called A Little Bit Brave. So here's the inside. And it's about a bunny who is scared to try new things, always stays home. I could see this being paired with The Koala Who Could, that book, if you're familiar with it. There's a lot of really amazing illustrations. There's one page I really like, this one. Yeah, I love this. But there's just also so many teaching points throughout the book, and you can use it for a ton of things. So thank you. Whenever a book is donated to our class, I will go ahead and write on the inside, donated to Miss Call's class by whoever it was, so that whenever I read the book with my kids, I can show them and say, hey, someone was thinking of us and they decided to send us this book, and it gets them even more excited to read it. So again, I really appreciate it, Stephanie. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Look out, a couple days from now, I'm going to be posting the What I Eat in a Week video. It's only Friday today, and I'm filming Saturday and Sunday too. So look out for that video, and I'll see you.